Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 28 of the McDougall Maximum Weight Loss Challenge. So I am wanting to make today something that I've wanted to make for several days, but it's really timely. Like, it takes a long time to make this, but it's not very difficult to make this. It just takes a long time to make this. So I'm starting now because I'm cooking the beans from scratch. And normally I would not do that because I am like A1 super lazy when it comes to beans and lentils and that kind of thing. I just get them out of a can and rinse them and life is good. But you have to cook stuff with the beans to get them to this recipe. So I figured, I guess that means I will do them from scratch. Totally fine. So I have a pot over here on my counter that has 6.5 cups of water. That's what you start with, 6.5 cups of water. It's just tap water, it's not boiling hot or anything like that. And to that, you're going to add 2 cups of black beans. So I haven't sifted through these yet, so I don't wanna just pour them in a cup and dump them in there right at the moment. But so two cups of black beans. You will also put in here right now, it says 4 large cloves of garlic. So I actually bought at the Asian grocery store like a little container of garlic, and I haven't done anything with it, and it's been in the refrigerator for like a long time now. Maybe not like a long time, but it says the pack date on here was September 17th, so it's like 2 months ago. Does that matter? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they look okay still. They smell fine. They smell like a garlic. So anyway, so 4 cloves of garlic, that's going to go in there. That goes in the pot to cook with them. And then the other thing you have to do, and this is kind of weird, I've never done anything like this before, but the recipe says it's very important, so you got to do this part. So take a whole onion. You don't have to put a hole down the middle of it, okay? But 1/2 of my onion looked kind of funky in the middle, so I just took my apple core and took the middle of it out because it looked a little funky. You don't have to do that part. Just peel it. That's important. And then I took a fork and poked some holes in it because I don't know if you can see them or not. Like, there's some right here. Yeah, there you go. You're supposed to get whole cloves. Where did I put those? There they are. I've never used a whole clove before, but you're supposed to get 8 to 10 of these and make a hole in your onion and stick the clove in it. I've seen this done with tofu before. I've never seen this before. I think this is kind of interesting. So anyway, so I have like, I got out 10 because it said 8 to 10, so I figured I might as well just get 10. So I'm going to poke those in the little holes that I made. And they go in really easy. This is a lot easier than I thought it would be, to be honest with you guys. I thought this might be a little bit more complex than this. Thought I might struggle, and no, we're not, so yay. Okay, so it does say in there to be careful with them so that you don't break them when you are trying to put them in there. They don't seem to be super fragile. Okay, so this is what my onion now looks like. It looks like it's diseased. So yeah, that's awesome. Anyways, so that goes in your pot as well. So it says that you put your beans and your water in your pot, do your onion and stud it with the cloves, which is way easier than I thought it would be. Put the onion in the pot with the beans and put the peeled garlic cloves in there and bring to a boil, cover it, reduce heat and simmer for about 2 hours. And then when you're done with that, you take this whole entire onion out and toss it. This was just a vehicle for cloves, I guess, I don't know. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do now. There are things that you need to do after this, but this is a pretty lengthy thing. So this does its thing for 2 hours, and then you put a couple more ingredients in the beans, and then they cook for another hour or 2, depending upon how long it takes for your beans to get cooked, I guess. Soft, tender, whatever the beans are supposed to do. So anyway, gonna go do this. This is so funny to me. Anyways, yeah, and then when it comes time in a couple hours to do the next step, I will be with you again and we will talk about this some more. Alrighty guys, so this has been going for 2 hours now. The onion is kind of gross and disturbingly nasty looking actually. So anyway, this comes out. Basically you just get a slotted spoon and just scoop it and grab it out and put it in the trash, which is really hot, so I'm not going to put directly in the trash. I'm actually going to put it on the cutting board when I get this stuff in here. You need to find your 4 little cloves of garlic. There's one, and you just squish them into the side of the container, it says. So that's not really too terrifically difficult. So there's one. There's another one. Yeah, they squish really easy. Okay, so just squish. Let's find the last one. Is that part of it? Nope. Here's one. Now let's go fishing for the other one. It's in here somewhere. It's just a chunk of one. Well, maybe we should use a bigger utensil. Maybe that would be easier. Okay, well, I'm not actually sure. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. There are 4, but maybe it disintegrated. I mean, that could very well be. Who knows? It was boiling. Okay, so we're going to take this out, obviously, and into this we're going to put 1 large green pepper that's been chopped and 1 large onion that's been chopped. So that just goes in here, and you want it to continue simmering. It was before I took the lid off. And you want this to go for another 1 to 2 hours, but actually we're just going to let it go for another hour because I tried one of the beans already, and they're actually not solid hard or anything still. So I am going to get that in there, and then I will show you what the next step is for what's going to go on top. So I'm going to go get this out and that in. So see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so now comes time to put together what's going to be considered the topping for the Brazilian beans. What we're making is called Brazilian black beans and marinated tomatoes. I'm actually making half of the topping part because I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not, and I'm probably the only one that's going to eat it. So my husband doesn't really care for just regular whole tomatoes or chopped up tomatoes and stuff. And then my one son that could eat it usually eats what the other boys are eating. So anyway, I'm going to make half of a batch. So if you want to make a whole batch, I made a whole batch of the beans. If you want to make a whole batch of the tomato stuff, then just double what I'm doing. So the first thing you need are 6 medium, well, okay, I'm using 3. 3 medium tomatoes. So I have 3 tomatoes, and you just chop them up. So I'm going to chop up 3 tomatoes, and then I need 4 green onions. And so I actually just got 2 because our green onions are massive. We grow them in the backyard, and so they're really, really big. So I just got 2 of those. I think that will be sufficient. You need 2 tablespoons of finely chopped sweet onion. I know that sounds kind of strange, but for the full recipe, you need 1/4 cup. But I have the sweet onion that we used back when I made I think it's the barbecue beans used a sweet onion. So I've got a little bit of sweet onion left, so I'm going to chop up a small amount of that. It calls for the whole recipe, I'll double it this, so the whole recipe would be 1 clove of garlic, so it would just be half a clove of garlic for this, but I'm just going to dump a little bit of garlic in there. I'm not too worried about the amount that goes in there, it'll be fine. Need 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, so just some red wine vinegar, and then it says for 4 to 5 dashes of Tabasco salt, or Tabasco sauce, sorry, the salt is optional, Tabasco sauce, and I don't even own Tabasco sauce, so I'm going to put a teeny tiny little bit of my chili garlic sauce in there. Just a teeny tiny little bit. You guys put whatever heat you want in yours. If you want Tabasco sauce or sriracha, something along those lines, whatever it is that you would want, you go ahead and put in there. And so basically you chop that stuff up, you put it in a bowl, you cover it, and you stick it in the refrigerator, and that's supposed to marinate for an hour. So I've got the beans cooking for another hour, and that's gonna be in the refrigerator marinating for an hour, and then we'll put it all together and see how it tastes in the long run. This is one of the recipes that is on Mary McDougall's list of favorite things to make, like makes on a repeated basis because they're so good. So hopefully this turns out really well, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see. So I'm gonna go chop some stuff up, get it in the fridge, and we will chat again a little bit later when it's supper time, so I will show you what it looks like. Alrighty guys, so food is done, and I have to say, the beans by themselves are kind of a little bit plain. I mean, you can definitely taste the clove flavor in there, so it's different than anything I've ever had before, and they're very good. But they're not like, woo, super flavorful or anything. The tomato stuff, I should have just made all of it because it's really yummy. So there's the tomato stuff. And then if you put it together it's really good. Like the beans and the tomato go really well together. So the beans are hot, the tomato is cold, but the combination of the two is fabulous. It's quite tasty. So I'm not sure that my husband's gonna care for the beans very much because he's not gonna want the tomato stuff on top. But I would highly recommend making this. This is really good, actually. Yeah, that's really good. So, if you're gonna make the marinated beans, maybe put a little bit of bear than bouillon or something in there to give it just a little bit more flavor. So it's just a tiny bit. But when you have the tomatoes on it, totally doesn't need anything extra. It's really good. The tomatoes, I can taste the tiny little bit of the garlic chili sauce that I put in there, and it's really good with the beans. So I guess that little tiny bit of spice, whatever it is spice-wise that you guys like, is really good. So I would add this to it. That's all I have for today. That's it. I really think that I can see why this is a favorite recipe, one of McDougall's favorite recipes, because it's really good. It's a very good combination. I would totally recommend this recipe. So that's it for me for the day, guys, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.